Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Empowered Practice Podcast. If it's your first time joining us, welcome, welcome. We're just coming off of the full moon energy in Leo, and so I'm going to turn it over to Toni with her moon deck and to kind of ground us into our session together.
Yes. Greetings. All right, so let's just get a little grounded here. And if you can, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and release it out of your mouth. And then I want you to inhale one more time through your nose. Big inhale in. And on your exhale, I want you to imagine that you're breathing out of your feet. So we're just grounding ourselves a bit more. So inhale through the nose. And when you exhale, just imagine that air is coming out of the bottom of your feet. On that next inhale and you exhale and you're breathing out of your feet, just imagine just some roots starting to come out. Just start feeling some sensations at the bottom of your foot. Just getting yourself grounded. Let's just set the intention here and now to open our hearts to receive in the messages that our higher self wants us to receive. To allow every cell in our body to be open and receptive and ready to integrate new ideas from our higher self. Your higher self is calling you into this moment, asking you to open up a bit more, to let it in. It's ready. So just feel that higher self ground in through the top of your head, going down your spine. And as you inhale, and you exhale out of the bottom of your feet, feel like you just totally locked in that higher self in this beautiful full moon moment. Just take 2 to 3 more deep cleansing breaths. And we will go ahead and we can pull some cards on the deck for the Leo full moon, which has been great to me. I had a good full moon. Good full moon. My Venus is in Leo, which is, all things romance and love and blah, blah, blah. So, this is mine. I had a good weekend.
Feel good,
I had a good, smooth weekend full of new things and old things, and it was good. I had a good time. Pretty excited. The weather has been nasty as I don't know what here in Atlanta.
Oh
yeah, it's been nasty. Like it snowed, which is weird. It snowed Saturday, and then it got warm, and it started raining. It was just I said, oh, you could tell us.
It's a little temperamental.
That's Georgia. That's it. That's the weather. That is the weather. Okay. So the first card that came out of the deck, our higher selves called into us, is to balance spirituality and practicality.
Yes.
To really ground in your messages. So I know for me, I receive downloads and messages and I can integrate them to a certain point.
Yeah.
But when it comes to deep within my personal power, sometimes I have disconnect. I can apply it to what I talk about, speak about, actions with others.
Yeah.
But there's something about that disconnect when we need to do action within ourselves and, how we talk to ourselves, how we are with ourselves.
Yes.
And when I see this card, that's what it brings me to. Today we're still in the full moon, but the moon is in Virgo, which is, Virgo is a little bit of perfectionism. And my moon is in Virgo. So I know all about that. And so I see that balance, spirituality with practicality. Also, balance out your own personal expectations.
Yeah. And that it doesn't always look pretty and clean and neat.
Yes. And it doesn't have to.
No.
Because maybe you don't even believe everything needs to be pretty and neat. It's just that people told you it needs to be pretty.
Exactly.
Isn't that something to kind of think about, though? Because, no, I want things pretty and neat. Do you?
Right.
You might want a little messy.
Yeah. Or you might not really care either way. It may not.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if someone didn't throw this down my throat, maybe it wouldn't even matter to me. Um,
Yeah.
this card is a full moon card, which that's beautiful. Thank you, deck.
Yeah.
And it's in Pisces. The card is a full moon in Pisces. So also not allowing our emotions to be out of balance. And
Uh,
that's a loaded statement because we're all in this place of trying to figure out how to allow, but also, actually have a partake in the creation
yeah.
of our life. It's just this thing we have to figure out.
Yes.
um
Completely.
yeah, but I see full moon in Pisces, and it reminds me to just not allow the emotions to take over. You don't need to resist it, but it doesn't need to rule your life.
Yeah.
You are not your emotions. You are
Exactly.
yourself.
That's right. What came to my mind was don't let your emotions become you.
Yes. Earlier today, that's something that came to me as well, is that sometimes we feel that, like you said, our emotions are us,
Yeah.
and that's just who we are, and that's how we're supposed to show up in the world with this
Right.
emotion. Maybe people always see me as relaxed or calm, and so you get stuck,
Yeah.
and there's no balance with your spirituality and your practicality.
Yeah.
And to understand that all this stuff is such a cycle. And if there's a low, that means a high is coming. There's a high, then keep your heart open because the low is going to come up.
Absolutely. That's exactly where my mind was at, is like there's that natural human tendency to want to cling to those states that feel really good and to push away those that feel uncomfortable. And to me, that goes right hand in hand with the card you drew about like spirituality and
Yeah.
practicality,
Yeah.
because there's always ebbs and flows. So, my question to you, the listeners, would be, and Tony too, if you feel called to answer it, is like what parts of yourself, what emotions, what pieces are you trying to like sweep under the rug or hide from others, or even hide or not acknowledge within yourself because they're uncomfortable or they're not in alignment with the status quo or the way that you would present
Yes.
yourself to the world to get love, worthiness, validation, approval, any of those things?
Beautiful question. And I do have an answer because
Yay.
it came up for me during my meditation today and my own personal energy work on myself. And I have been sweeping under the rug my needs for validation,
Yeah.
which at the end of the day, I'm still a freaking human.
Yeah.
I need some validation, right? But it's
Yes.
not so much in the adult Tony that doesn't need the validation. I've discovered, through my own work, that younger Tony is
Yeah.
looking for, some validation now in this moment. She's healed up some of the other wounds, so now it's like, okay, little Tony is like, hey guys, can we be proud of my healing and what's happening here?
Yeah.
And I definitely know for me, I have been sweeping that under the rug, that
Yeah.
that necessary need, um of integrating my childhood self into this moment and allowing her to be validated in this moment.
Yeah.
Now that's pretty complex.
It is.
Anyone listening, if you're like, oh, Tony, I feel the same, but what in the world? What do I do first? Like, how do
Exactly.
I even acknowledge that, right? I know for me, what has helped is to bring up some things from the past to my mom. I have a pretty good relationship with my mom now. We've talked about a lot of things, and I've mentioned some places in my life where I needed her to praise me a bit more, tell me she was proud,
Yeah.
let me know that she saw me as a person. Um, and now she takes a little bit more time out. I don't need a lot, just a little bits in of just like, oh, I'm proud of you. Thanks, mom.
Aw.
It
Yes.
works.
Yes. And anyone listening, that's so beautiful. And don't let your conditioned adult self tell you that that's silly or small or that you shouldn't need that, because we all still have every phase of life within us. So maybe you, as the adult self, like Toni was saying, have healed that, and rationally you don't need that. But maybe your 8-year-old self or your 6-year-old self or your 2-year-old self really does need that. And you can do the inner parenting work yourself, but it's so beautiful when you actually get to have that literal experience of it with that
Yeah.
person.
I do, and I believe in using your loved ones around you to help you heal.
Yeah.
Um, One, because we're human, and connection
Yeah.
is perfect for us. Also, it helps flex that vulnerability muscle and strengthen
Yes.
it. So when super big moments come up, you can like show up for it.
Yeah.
But also for me personally, within my own experience, I've noticed that my healing happens a lot faster when I open up and am willing to allow others, to hear my pain and to help me
Yeah.
with it. Um, the other, I think it was last week, my son, he ran in the room and he said, "Hey, mom." "Yes." "Good job." I was like, "What?"
Ah,
He said, "Yeah, good job." And he ran out. And I'm like about to cry. I'm like, "This is so beautiful."
yes.
But we had such a good day. He had a lot of fun and we were still having fun. And it just meant a lot to me. And I realized that the work alone is important, but there is a new bliss and beauty
Yeah.
within the connection. And I feel like this totally comes back to the balance of spirituality and practicality. You
Yes.
know, like be practical about your healing. And that's kind of like, I think a lot of people might be afraid to say something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be practical about your healing, because then it feels like, oh, are you trying to put pressure on me about, do I have to be in a certain way? But it's like, no, you have resources around you. Be practical.
Be practical and know yourself. Maybe you do need it in a structured way, or maybe you're more fluid and need it more abstract. Just honor yourself. And I would love to ask a follow-up question. So
Yeah.
when you do like open up with family members or other loved ones and begin that conversation of healing, how do you manage your expectations so that you don't end up like hurt or disappointed if they don't respond in a certain way?
So a basic thing is grounding.
Yeah.
It is so basic and so outside of that part of it, but it is so important when you put yourself in a healing state, and you're like a newborn.
Yeah.
You are really like a newborn. You're very sensitive. Old things come up, new things appear, and it hurts very deeply.
Yeah.
What helps me is daily grounding within my own personal purpose, why I'm showing up for this, and also the physical part of it. A lot of times when we get disappointed, what makes it worse is when our physical latches onto it as well.
Yeah.
So you reach out to someone, they're like, I'm sorry, I don't agree that I hurt you. Your body thinks that you're under attack because you had this strong emotion.
Right.
And now this person is saying it's not true, and that's a personal attack. So the body feels like it's a physical attack.
Yeah.
So what we can do to initially just overcome that is through daily grounding, finding your center, placing yourself down. That's what helps me with managing the expectations.
Yeah.
Because if they don't agree, then at least I have centered myself in my knowing that, okay, this is just a part of the journey. This
Yeah.
is something that I need to go through.
Yeah.
But also coming back to that practicality,
Yeah.
and understanding that everyone is not in the same place that you are at.
Yes.
Some people aren't ready to be empathetic to the point that you can be,
Right.
or they just sometimes they can't see it. Sometimes they have so much going on in their life in the now
Yeah.
that if they went to the past, they'd have a breakdown.
Right.
So just be practical in that,
Don't take it
everyone.
so personally.
Yeah, don't, because it's
Yeah.
not. Oh God, that's a good word for that. Oh my God, it really is when someone, unless you have slapped someone. Other than that, if
Yeah.
someone gets upset with you, most of the time it's something that's really bothering
Yeah.
them. And not it has nothing to do with you. But
Absolutely.
that takes grounding.
Yes. Yeah. And it does feel uncomfortable, and it is a very courageous practice. It can feel really, like you said, like being a newborn or being super exposed. And so at least my recommendation would be to like practice with yourself and then practice with a really trusted loved one first.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, sometimes that's all we need because, and sometimes that's all we can get, whether it's
Yeah.
someone you're not speaking to any longer or someone who's passed,
Yeah.
things of that nature. Like sometimes you do have to just use a trusted loved one
Yeah.
to reenact it, which still takes some vulnerability. It's still scary.
For real. And by the way, if you don't feel like you have that sort of resource or like relationship in your life, that's what a coach or a therapist can support you
Yes.
with. Yeah.
Yes. Um, And what's so beautiful is that, because I know a lot of our listeners are working in this as well as healers and helping others. I
Yeah.
really had to discover that I don't have to heal the world and heal myself alone.
Yes.
Let me say that again. I don't have to heal the world and heal myself alone. I really felt that in my heart. Someone needed to hear
Yes.
that. It's to- comes back. Good card. Balance spirituality and practicality. How
Yeah.
can we take on saving our family or our friends, our neighborhood, our community, um, if no one's there to support us,
Right.
to listen to us, to help us figure it out? You know, it take.
Right.
I don't know about anyone else, but I know me. When it comes to myself, I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
And I only have my perspective.
Right.
So to take time to reach out to someone who is dedicated to helping me go to the next level is life
Yes.
changing. Like
Yes.
it collapses time. It really does. When you can start really enjoying more of your own personal time.
Yes. Yeah. We've got to get to know ourselves first, and then we can actually recognize what we need, and then can become empowered to seek out those resources, whether that means spending more time with ourselves or asking somebody else to help us.
Yes. Um, and it's okay to ask for help. That sounds so
Yes.
basic, right? But it's just it really is
Yeah.
okay. I think
It's
in our
okay to
current.
want, I was just going to say, it's okay to
Mhm.
want more than just survival for yourself.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful. And I also feel a lot of people don't even know that they're settling for survival.
Yeah.
Because if you go so long on edge,
Yeah.
usually you don't realize it's a problem until something physically shows up.
Yes.
And then you look
Speaking
back
to
and you
me.
realize, yeah, we're all in this together. It's all happened to us. And then you go, oh, I have not been enjoying my life. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, oops, I didn't know I was clenching my jaw for like two
Right.
years straight. Or
Yeah.
I never even realized I had my shoulders up to my ears for like a decade
Yeah.
until I just put those suckers down. I was like, oh.
Right. And I
So,
didn't know that sometimes it's about doing less. It's not
eh,
about adding one more
mm,
thing. So maybe it's not about like finding that other person or therapist or coach. Maybe the first step for you is just clearing things out of your calendar that are a no for you right now, so that you actually have
yeah.
the space to consider those kinds of things.
It's okay to say no. That's the next
Yeah.
one. It's okay to say no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, not interested. Don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to say no to yourself. Let it if that is, whew, I mean, because that's it. You know, I
Yeah.
see in my practice and with myself. You know, we work through setting boundaries with others, but it takes a lot of work to set the boundaries with self.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work to finally just tell yourself enough is enough.
Yeah.
Got to do the right thing for yourself. And
Yes.
sometimes it's like, well, what is the right thing for myself, right?
Right.
Clear out the calendar.
Yes.
make make more time for centering, and
Absolutely.
that's how we can find it.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
good.
Some strong messages coming through today.
Yeah, it's a good full moon.
It is. I
Um,
feel like the fierceness of it.
it the fierceness of it for me is so luxurious
Mm.
and just lovely, like beautiful material on the skin,
Yeah.
like a very soft bed,
Oh.
smiles and hugs. Um, the spirit of Leo is that of royalty, but it's not a royalty. I know sometimes we think of royalty and we think of individuals or communities that think they're better than others.
Right.
But I always feel like the spirit of Leo is like, no, we're all royal. What do you
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
we're all in this together and enjoying each other and loving on each other, and also believing that it's your birthright
Yes.
to enjoy life. It is your birthright to enjoy life.
Yes. And there is so much work I've found personally for myself and many of my, especially woman clients,
Yeah.
that has to be done in order to fully embrace that belief.
Yes. I use an example about a baby. A baby comes right out and they are so excited to touch skin,
Yeah.
to look around. You're like, oh, this is interesting. And
Right.
so, there in that moment, the baby is automatically feeling luxury, pleasure, joy, fun, contact. So, that means that we're born already deserving it. So
Yes.
it doesn't matter what happens in between. You're already born with all of that. You deserve
Yes.
to enjoy life. You deserve to enjoy the moments. I know for me, in the last year, that's been the biggest lesson, to just take a deep breath and go, you know what, Toni? You deserve to have fun. You
Yeah.
deserve it. It's your
Yeah.
birthright. It's not you deserve it. It's literally your birthright. You are supposed to breathe oxygen. You are supposed to enjoy your life.
Yes. And like, this is so important. This is something that I have to continually remind myself of, is that when we create the space for that, we open that up to become more and more of our reality. So we cannot get in the mindset of like, I will have fun when, and set it aside for a future
Yes.
time. We have to create the state that we want to live in now.
Yes. And everything
Yeah.
else will just catch up with it.
Yes.
That's that's
Yeah.
just
That's
how it
another way to
works.
make time collapse.
Yes.
Yeah.
JD and I, we study a lot of very similar things. And they
Yeah.
work. And it's so simple though. And so what helps me is to break down what brings me joy, like down to the bare emotion.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you kind of look at your day and it turns out, oh, kind of already living, some of
Yes.
the things that I want. And then after a couple of weeks of doing that, you realize, like, okay, I'm like 20% happier. I know that's weird to give it that number, but you will notice it. If you,
Yes.
you're like, oh, you're right. I can go to bed a little faster. I'm
Yeah.
sleeping better. I'm laughing at the silliest things.
Yeah.
It works to just focus in and zone in that emotion,
Yeah.
which brings me back to the Leo energy. A Leo knows what it wants.
Yes.
Not afraid to say, I want to feel free, so I'm gonna feel more freedom in my day. I
Yes.
want to feel love. I'm gonna find more love in my day. It's that very royal spirit of knowing it's my birthright to feel how I want to feel. So it
Yes.
takes, some of that fiery confidence.
Yeah. It does. And it reminds me of just like what you were saying about the newborn example. newborns are demanding of attention and they don't apologize for it because they don't know any other way. They're just very in touch with what they need, and then they're going to ask for that in the best way they know how. We can do that too as adults. We just have a whole like toolkit full of ways to ask for that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Mm.
It's like, just go to your toolkit, because guess
Yes.
what? You're worthy of it. You can ask for
Yes.
it. You deserve it. It's your birthright. So just pick from the toolkit on how
Yeah.
you can let the energy around you know. Um, and to bring yourself to the idea that it's all energy. It really
Yes.
takes away to me, that takes the fear out of it.
Yeah.
Because when you feel like it's more than energy, it feels too solid. It's like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, how am I gonna do this?
Right.
It's like,
Yes.
how am I gonna get this building up or down? Whatever you're trying to discover, to create. But when you bring it to energy, it takes the pressure off.
It really does. The vision I had in my head is like, it's actually like a gas, like a gaseous state, and we're making it like a boulder by hanging on to it. And
Yes.
sometimes all we have to do is, like realize we're gripping it and let go. And then it becomes really light again.
Mm. So let it go, let it flow. Feel the
Yes.
confidence of this moon, of this time. Harness that fiery energy of just believing of your worthiness,
Yeah.
your deservingness, that you can let it go.
Yes.
Because that's what it takes. It's like just jump.
Just
Just jump.
jump.
Yeah, just you'll be supported. You'll be protected.
Yeah.
Mm,
Beautiful.
some good stuff
Feels
for the
so
moon.
good. Yeah. Do you have any final closing thoughts for the listeners?
Not only when you ground yourself, everyone, should you focus in on slowing down your energy, but I would welcome you to open yourself to attracting new energy that you can't understand quite yet. Allow that to be grounded within the cells of your body. Allow your mind to ground into the fact that we don't know everything and we won't know everything. So don't even worry about it. Like, can you
Yeah.
just feel that opening that just happened within our mind? It's like, oh, you're right. I don't even know everything. I'm not going to know everything. So let me allow that energy to ground me into this moment and just be more here.
Mm.
It's okay to do the things that you love.
Yes.
It's okay.
It is okay. And
So
I'll
is
add,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say, like, to me, the most authentic version of you is the most royal version of you.
Yes. Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. That is what it is. The most authentic version of you is the most royal version of you. That reminds me of something that I read somewhere where it's about some law of attraction kind of thing. And it was like, it's not so much about getting to a frequency of abundance or attraction, but finding your own special, authentic frequency that was meant to be experienced in this life. That's how you get it. And that really touched me, because we see it. The more and more we're just ourselves and authentic,
Yeah.
the faster and faster all the good things we want come to us. Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. Hoping that this served all of you. Thank you so much for listening and joining us. And if you want more from me, I'm most active on Instagram as far as social media goes. So you can just find me at JD Ingalls. Right now, I would love to offer you a human design reading because to me, it has been such a roadmap back to my authentic self and such a potent way to clear out the noise of all the conditioning, the layers of conditioning that we receive throughout our lives. And Toni, where can people find you and connect with you?
I am just like the goddess Jadi, most active on Instagram. So you can find me at Parks Holistic Health. You can also put in my name, Toni Parks. I should come up. I am offering one-on-one holistic mental wellness coaching. I combine the guided meditation that we do in the beginning of these talks with an oracle card reading, and then also with some recommendations and guidance through holistic measures. You can be happy, you can be grounded, you can be passionate, you can experience all these amazing emotions that you want. You just have to show up for yourself. That's it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
Until next
you.
time, everyone.